Hi, I'm Donato Finelli. I'm a mental training and peak performance specialist from Capex Consulting, and I'm here today with Figured Out Baseball to tell you about one of the mental fundamentals, routines. So one of the things that I've noticed with a lot of the baseball players and baseball teams that I work with is that a lot of them tend to be very superstitious. And so I think sometimes there's a little bit of confusion between what's a superstition and what's a routine. Now, when we talk about superstitions, these are things that have absolutely nothing to do with our performance, no matter how much we think that they might. So I hate to break it to you, but wearing your lucky underwear was not the reason why you went 3 for 5. And no, someone stepping on the foul line was not the reason why your team lost the game. Superstitions have absolutely nothing to do with our performance. With that being said, if something works for you, then go for it. My thing with routines is I like to use the quote from The Office where Michael Scott says, "I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious." So if there is something about your superstition that makes you feel more confident or makes you feel more comfortable in order for you to be able to play your best, then go for it. Use it. But understand that that superstition is not going to impact your performance. Do it because you want to do it, not because you have to do it. Now, when we talk about routines, that is something that does impact our performance. Routines are a sequence of actions that are consistently followed to help prepare us for an upcoming task. So you probably already have some routines that you follow throughout your day. For example, maybe you have some morning routine that you follow every morning to help get you ready for the day before you leave the house. When we talk about routines in sport, these are things that help us to mentally, physically, and emotionally get ready to play. Most athletes already have some kind of physical pregame routine that they follow, such as getting loose or warming up. But just as it's important to physically warm up before a game, it's also important to mentally warm up before a game. So something that can be really helpful is to tie in a mental routine along with your physical routine. Now, routines are not just for pregame. Yes, you do have your pregame routines, but there's also the night before or morning of the game routines. There's a pre-inning routine, a pre-at-bat routine, pre-pitch routines, and even post-game routines. Effective routines should be simple, flexible, and adaptable. We don't want very complicated or intricate and really rigid routines because the more intricate and rigid and complicated that they become, the more likely that something could disrupt it. We want to keep them simple, flexible, and adaptable. We want to focus not so much on the specific activity, but focus more on the concept and the strategy. So it's not that I have to do exactly this in exactly this order at exactly this time. It's more like these are some things that I want to do before the game or before the inning or whatever to get me ready to play, and these are some things that I can use to get me there. What you want to do first is ask yourself, what are the concepts that I want to incorporate into my routine? These can be things like controlling my emotions, generating confidence or motivation, or locking in my focus. From there, come up with some different strategies that you can use to incorporate that routine. So, for example, maybe before the game, you say to yourself, okay, the concept that I want to incorporate into my pregame routine is to relax. And so some strategies that I can use to relax before the game are to listen to some calming music, doing some stretching, and going through some breathing exercises. Maybe if, for example, you say, okay, the concept that I want to incorporate into my pre-at-bat routine is to generate some confidence. So some things that I can use before my at-bat to generate some confidence are to use some positive self-talk and visualizing success. Again, it's not the specific activity, it's coming up with the different concepts that you want to incorporate, and then determining some different strategies that you can use to incorporate that strategy. To start off, I would recommend coming up with different concepts and strategies for a morning of or night before the game routine, a pre-game routine, a pre-inning routine, a pre-at-bat routine, a pre-pitch routine, and a post-game routine. Again, it's not so much about the specific activity, it's more about the concept and the strategy. Remember to keep these routines simple, flexible, and adaptable. Focus on the concept, not so much the specific activity, and give yourself a few different strategies that can incorporate that concept. Again, I'm Donato Finelli from Capex Consulting. That was Mental Fundamentals Routines. For some more information on mental skills training, be sure to check out our website at capexconsulting.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at Donato_Finelli. And also be sure to check out the rest of my videos on mental fundamentals.